talking about coronavirus, other names, COVID-19.
COVID-19? Yep.
SARS-CoV-2, right? That's
Yep.
the other name. Yep. That's the scarier name that they don't like to use, but maybe we should use that name. Last time we talked about surgical masks, and we just wanted to finish off really quickly about some of the other masks. We're not like crazy knowledgeable about any of them, but when it just first started breaking out in China here, we were scared because we live in Hong Kong and it's right next door, and we get a lot of tourists that come from China. Although with the protests, we've had a lot less tourists lately, so that was kind of good in a way. But we tried to get masks, and it was hard because they sold out immediately as soon as word broke that there was a crazy outbreak happening of a SARS-like virus. And Ken ordered these masks from Italy. Oh, oops. Yeah, you're right. I just picked it up upside down. Anyway, he ordered these ones from Italy. They took a couple weeks to come. Surely they won't be sending these out anymore. But these ones are interesting because they have a replaceable filter in them, and they look kind of cool or terrifying depending on your opinion. You put yours on. There's 2 different ways to wear it. Wait, this is the way I wear it, like this. I haven't worn this one in a while. There we go. That's how I wear this one.
This is how, but what happened when I have classes?
I feel a little bit like Bane wearing this, but like, anyway, it also has a smell to it.
You sure it's not because of what you ate last night?
Ha ha ha. Yeah, so Ken's it fits him better when it goes around his head there. Mine goes around my back here and around my ears.
Right.
Yeah, yours just goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we ordered these. They're N95 compliant, and also what was it? FFP2. Which is a European standard for the same thing, and there's also Japanese standards and
American standard.
And
American standard.
Well, we talked about that one already. I'm talking about Korean standards. There's different standards, and there's even a Chinese, from China Chinese standard.
Right.
Yeah. But they all kind of equal the same amount of filtration. So this technically is a respirator and not a mask. And inside it has a valve. And this one's the FFP3. So originally when we were freaking out at the beginning and we didn't know what to expect, we had some friends in the UK send us some masks. This is some of them. Shout out to our UK buddies. So this one is FFP3, which is a little bit even more filtration. And in the meantime, everyone's been saying that there's a problem with this is Rocket. She wanted to come up. Everyone's saying there's a problem supplying the hospitals with enough N95 masks these days. So they've been talking a lot more about making your own masks, because even the surgical mask, which has less filtration than N95, and even making your own out of fabric that has about 50% filtration is better than nothing. So now there's a lot of tutorials online, which makes me happy, the sewing person in me, about how to make your own mask, which is genius for the do-it-yourselfer, especially everybody in the West. I find that they're more do-it-yourselfers than over here, although there's a lot of people over here that have been making masks like crazy as well.
Especially when we all got locked up at home now.
Yeah, so you can make masks for yourself for when you go out and go to the store. And I know they've been saying in Western countries that you don't need a mask. However, the science says any mask is better than no mask. So instead of going out and buying all the masks or hoarding masks, make your own.
I think it's also more about where and when you use the mask.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you see us at home, we don't wear mask because we know we've been for the past 2 months and so we know how, like I haven't been to work for a while and then Bridget's always work at home, so when we do a lot of stuff together, so we try to avoid crowded area, we don't see any other people, so we know. But one day, let's say if you run out of food in the fridge, if you run out of stuff at home that you need to go out and do grocery shopping and stock up your supplies and stuff, that would be the time you consider wear a mask because you're going to expose yourself to public. And as much as we know about how this virus transmitted, the best way to do it is just to protect yourself so nothing could go into you.
Mm-hmm. And then the other advice that they've been giving out lately, which we've been following since the beginning over here, is imagine that you yourself are sick and that you don't want to give it to other people. So what can you do to protect other people from yourself, especially because we don't know when we get sick or if we're sick. So until you actually start coming down with symptoms. So you could be giving people the virus and not even know. So it's better just to wear a mask, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer when you're out in between hand washes, when you're touching elevator buttons, opening doors, whatever. Especially crowded areas, wear a mask. When you have to go to the grocery store, wear a mask. Make a mask so you can wear it at the grocery store, and then you can just be that much safer. Because why not wear one when you know that wearing one is 50% more effective than not wearing one?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the other things we want to talk about is what to do at home. What do you do at home now that
Kill
you're
each other! Drive each other crazy!
I'm used to being at home because I work from home. Although I'm not used to being kind of trapped and not being able to do things. But with Ken around, sometimes it gets a bit...
It's crazy because I have an office, so I used to go to work in my office, and then when I finish work, I came home, and then I personally try not to bring work to home, so I just come home. And while I'm in my office, Bridget will be working at home here. So this is the time when Bridget's trying to keep working at home, and I'm trying to bring home at work. And how long have we been doing that? We've been doing that for a while.
I think we're in our 9th week.
We are in our 9th week.
Yeah, we've been doing it since the end of January, right before Chinese New Year. This is when everything went crazy.
So so what I find out, for me, what I find is I personally cannot put that many hours of work when I'm working from home. So if I used to work like, let's say 8 hours in my office, I literally cannot work 8 hours at home. Because first, I cannot stare into my computer for that long. Second, if I keep doing that, or let's say if I have an online meeting, you go Hangout, Zoom, whatever software you guys use, it would drive her crazy because I would be constantly talking like this to my screen, and while at the same room, Bridget will be working. So it's not fair to her, and I couldn't even concentrate because there's so much going on now.
With a little yippy dog barking at noises in the hallway. That's my take on it. I basically reduce my work hour on my computer, and I actually have to schedule them in a better way because otherwise I would drive myself crazy before I drive myself crazy. Ken's lucky because we have a car, so he's able to go to work sometimes and work from his office. There's no one at work anyway. And it's good because then he can just go from one bubble to the next in a traveling bubble. It's different. I've had to take Rocket to the vet sometimes, so instead of taking public transport, I've been taking a taxi or an Uber, just to limit my exposure to other people. Just last week, we started feeling like a break from everything. Like our cases had gone down. We didn't have any new cases. It was really great. And then they imposed some new restrictions on people returning to Hong Kong. And so everybody rushed back to make it before the deadline. And now we have a whole outbreak of cases that came from overseas. So now we're going to have to be more vigilant again, which is sad because we just started feeling more relieved.
Yeah, it's hard in the sense that because no one knows when it's going to end. We don't see the end of it. We kind of like working on like day-to-day basis. So it's like, it's very different psychologically because we all live in a world that this is your deadline. Let's do it on that day, and then we will think backwards and then work forwards again. But now we don't know. We were first told to stay at home for 2 weeks, and that was back at the end of January. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks later that, and then 2 weeks more, and now we are on our 9th weeks. So for those who just started this process, just get yourself ready and be prepared. It could be long, but remember, as long as we're all healthy and stay alive, we can overcome this.
And stay alive, that was ominous.
That's all we could hope for.
Yeah, and help each other.
Help each other out. We have friends, now we have friends from overseas saying that they're missing certain kind of supplies, and now we are trying to ship it to them. Mm-hmm. Even in our neighborhood, in our community, if we know we have people that are looking for something that they couldn't find, we're trying to call, and then we see if we could have extra and then just chip in and help them. Mm-hmm. So this is how we're going to survive. We just cannot rely on just one source. We have to help on each other. Yeah.
And then try to stay sane.
It's going to be a long process, but we all have to stay positive.
Yeah. That's right. No more death talk.
Oh. Hey, I tell you, imagine if it happened 20 years ago without internet.
That's true.
What are we going to do?
Yeah, we have Netflix. We have a Switch here, so that's fun.
You guys are watching us on YouTube, on internet?
That's true. You're watching us on the internet. We have access to YouTube. All of the talk show hosts seem to be in the US seem to be broadcasting from home these days, which is kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, there are many options now on internet, as long as you have internet access. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I'm trying to help some other people too. If they don't have enough internet access, I'm trying to sort out if there's anywhere they could get free Wi-Fi or something like that. So we just cannot think about ourselves at the moment. We have to think of different people in different levels and also different people.
Well, even my mom in Canada, which is a first world country, she lives literally in the countryside, and she doesn't have access to the internet. So she has a phone that has shoddy reception, and that's all she's got. That's the only option. There's no option for her. So it's, it's a bit isolating, but she's got people coming over to take care of her.
Yeah, but the good side of it is, she won't get affected. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nothing could affect her because she's
in the boonies.
Okay.
Love you, Mom. Anyway, that's good. We can wrap it up. Yeah. So, stay healthy, or
身體健康。
Bye.